All right, let's get right into it. The new inflation data is out, and that means we have our first really solid look at the Social Security raise for 2026. And for millions of Americans, this number, well, it's a pretty big deal.
But here's the real question, isn't it? We know your check is going up. That part's not really in doubt. The real mystery we're going to unravel here is whether that extra cash actually makes it into your bank account. It's a lot more complicated than you might think. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the headline news. You see, the Social Security Administration looks at inflation data from 3 key months, July, August, and September, to calculate the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. And guess what? We now have the numbers for 2 of those 3 months, which gives us a super clear picture of what's coming.
And there it is. Based on everything we know right now, the projected COLA for 2026 is looking like 2.8%. It's kind of interesting how they land on this, you know? It's all based on a specific inflation index called the CPI-W, which tracks prices for urban workers. That's the benchmark they've used for years. Now look, this isn't totally locked in just yet. We're still waiting on that final piece of the puzzle, September's inflation data. That'll drop in mid-October, but we're talking about a really, really narrow window here. The final number is almost guaranteed to be somewhere between 2.7 and 2.9%. So, 2.8%. It's just a number, right? What does that actually mean for the money you get in your check every month? Let's break it down and turn this percentage into actual dollars and cents. Okay, so if you're getting the average Social Security retirement benefit, which is about $2,060 a month right now, a 2.8% raise works out to about an extra $56. It's not going to make you rich for sure, but hey, for a lot of people, that's a noticeable little bump. And you can see how it all shakes out depending on what you get now. If your benefit is around $900 a month, you're looking at about a $24 increase. If you're at $1,500, it's closer to $42. So on the surface, this all seems pretty straightforward. But this is where things start to get a little tricky. Because there's a hidden catch, and it's a big one. Just as your Social Security check is about to go up, another bill is going up right along with it. And for a whole lot of people, this one thing could make that raise completely vanish. Here's the problem in a nutshell. Let's go back to that person getting $900 a month. Their COLA is going to add about $24 to their check. Great. But at the same time, the Medicare Part B premium is projected to jump by about $21.50. You see the issue here? That gain is almost perfectly canceled out. So when the dust settles, what are you actually left with? $2.50. I mean, seriously, for some of the seniors who need this money the most, this whole cost of living adjustment boils down to less than the price of a cup of coffee. It's technically a raise, I guess, but it sure isn't going to feel like one. Now, thankfully, there is a safety net here. It's called the hold harmless rule. And basically what it says is that a rising Medicare premium can never make your Social Security check actually go down year over year, so you won't lose money. But it also means that for many, the COLA gets completely eaten up, and their check amount will stay exactly the same. And if you thought it was just about Medicare, well, it gets even more complicated. This small bump in income can trigger a whole domino effect, and it can actually end up reducing other critical benefits people depend on to get by. A perfect example is the SNAP program. You know, what many of us still call food stamps. Your eligibility is all tied to your income. So when that Social Security check goes up even just a little bit, it can push your total income just over a line in the sand, and boom, your food assistance gets cut. There was an idea for a fix, the COLAs Don't Count Act, but it stalled out. So it's often one step forward, one step back. So with the system itself creating all these hurdles, it's more important than ever to make sure you're finding every single dollar you are entitled to. And that brings us to something huge, a really big opportunity that, frankly, most people have no idea even exists. Take a good look at this number, $5 billion. And that's not a government program or some new spending bill. No, that's money that is just sitting there, completely untouched, waiting to be claimed. That $5 billion, that's how much in extra Medicare benefits goes totally unused by seniors every single year. This is money that's already set aside for them, but it's just left on the table because people simply don't know these perks are even out there. So what are we talking about here? This is real, tangible stuff that can make a huge difference. We're talking about things like allowances to help pay for groceries, money for over-the-counter stuff at the pharmacy, free gym memberships, even stipends to buy things like sneakers or other activity gear.
It's all built into many Medicare plans, but it's often buried in the fine print.
Okay, so after looking at this whole complicated picture, the good, the bad, and the tricky, let's circle back to what's happening right now. What are the key dates we need to be watching for as we count down to that final official COLA number?
Here's the timeline. The numbers for July and August are in the bag. That's how we have this really strong projection. Next up, we wait for the September data. As soon as that's out, the Social Security Administration does its final math, and then, sometime in mid-October, they make the big official announcement. That's when we'll know the exact percentage for 2026.
And, all of this leaves us with one last big question. We've seen how this adjustment, which is designed to help people keep up, can get eaten away by other costs and quirks in the system. So it really makes you wonder, when a raise isn't actually a raise, what part of the system is the one that really needs to change?